Hi everyone, my name is Mary Goulet. This is my presentation on diversity for Chapter 2. You guys can go ahead and flip to the next slide. Diversity has become a very important issue in every workplace in America. It's become a very important issue in today's management as well. With the increasing amount of globalization, every day there is more and more interaction with people from all over the globe. So people from different cultures, people with different beliefs and different backgrounds, it's becoming more and more common for you to be interacting with people. So today employers are becoming more creative and more open to change and open to these new ideas from these other cultures. According to the text, diversity is the variety of observable and unobservable similarities and differences among people. Most companies today are becoming more and more diverse. People from various backgrounds and groups are becoming more accepted in today's workplace. Just for example, I have a African American female who sits next to me at one of my cubicles, a gay male, and a 60-year-old woman. 50 years ago, it would have been all white males in their, 25 years old to 40 years old in the workplace. You wouldn't have seen any difference in color, difference in gender, and difference in age. Diversity is about people. It's about the environment that we work in and everyone reaching the company goals. It's about how we value and appreciate those that are unlike us and different from us. Let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. There are two main types of diversity: surface level diversity and deep level diversity. Surface level diversity is known as soon as you see someone. It's their race, age, gender, ethnicity, and then there's deep level diversity. These are things that you may not know until you get to know someone. They can be things like their attitude, their goals, their educational backgrounds, or things that you may never know about, like the pay differences. So let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. Now, why should you care? If you're like me, then you're pursuing your education here at PHSC to gain more management experiences and build your skill set. As employees and managers, or even business owners, it's becoming more and more important that we are able to work with all types of people and communicate with all types of people. The better that we can communicate with different types of people, the more effective we will be at our jobs. So diversity awareness will enable you to hire, retain, and engage the best employees and the best talent to maximize the entire organization's performance. I say that's a pretty win-win. Diversity can also enhance your company's competitive advantage when it enables all of your employees to contribute their full talents to the organization. Let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. So, with all good things, there has to be a little bit of negative. Most good things, though, do have a double-edged sword. It can cause, unfortunately, diversity can cause misunderstandings, suspicion, and conflict. Although this can unfortunately result in poor quality and low morale. One of the big things that I noticed reading through the text was age diversity can lead to absenteeism and turnover. And of course, the first thing that I thought of when I read this was older people who may, have worse health needs than what a younger person was. But in reality, once I really read more in depth into the text, it's more so the way that I understood it is that it could be from the older people who are ill and, need to visit the doctors more. But it also, in my own experience, was from when I was a manager at a catering company. The younger employees, they weren't as dedicated to showing up to work on time. If anything else better came up, they'd sail right on out and say, I don't need this job. So that also led to absenteeism and a high turnover in that atmosphere. So it can be different on different scales. So let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. How does diversity influence us in the workplace? And there's a number of ways that you're influenced when you're working somewhere. Social integration. This makes all members feel like they're a major part of the team, and that's important. If you don't feel like you belong, you're not going to want to put every inch of blood, sweat, and tears into being committed and making sure that company performs well, because you don't even feel like you're a part of the company. Conflict's also not always a bad thing. It can enhance performance, and it can also help groups generate better ideas and find better ways to communicate, and better ways of doing things. It also brings a little bit of competitiveness into the atmosphere, which really can, make employees perform better to an extent. Then there's things like task conflict, which are things like goals and deadlines, and also, of course, relationship conflicts, interpersonal conflicts, and personality clashes. In a way, and also gender differences. In a way, this can be a positive thing. If a group of people are sitting thinking about an advertisement for the Super Bowl, and the male says, oh, this commercial is going to be hysterical, and the female across the table says, wait a minute, you didn't really think about it this way. This could be interpreted by women like this and could really offend some women. So it just brings different ideas to the table, and the conflict can lead to better performance as well. Let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. Oh, wait. Never mind. I'm sorry. So there's inclusion. This goes along with the social integration. It's a sense of feeling safe, valued, and engaged in a group regardless of similarities and differences. I know that I want to be included and not feel like because I'm a female in the workplace that I'm not valued, or I shouldn't feel not safe at work as well. And be careful. Don't rush to judge other people. Perceptions of discrimination can really lead to negative outcomes. And of course, we all understand that, there's the like me bias. This results from people who really only like to associate with other people who are like them. It's that whole ethocentrism thought that, the beliefs that my language is better than yours, and my native country is better than yours, and my cultural rules and my cultural background is superior to yours. And that's not exactly healthy in the workplace, and unfortunately we tend to trust people that are more like us, but we need to be more open-minded. So let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. Diversity alone doesn't guarantee like a great, awesome outcome all the time, and managers do need to learn how to effectively manage diversity, because of the conflicts. They have to learn how to kind of keep that equilibrium in the workplace. There's things like that can help the managers, like reciprocal mentoring. This allows both employees to learn more about each other by putting senior employees with junior employees. And by senior employees, I don't typically mean older employees. They could just be someone who's been working at the company longer, working with somebody younger. And maybe that newer employee comes in and says, this is a really hard way to understand this. Well, have you guys thought about trying and doing it this way? So it's a good way to look at the new and the old employees can all bring good ideas to the table. There's also diversity training to educate the need to communicate with others. This enables employees to become more aware of their biases and prejudices and stereotypes and learn to control them more. So my question to you is, have you ever experienced diversity in the workplace or at school that has helped influence the organization in a positive way? explain how that situation would have been different without that diverse influence. Thanks. Have a great night.